Yeah. Oh, well, imagine.
Well, imagine
How the fuck do I stop this? My Spotify's not
And I can't help but to hear
That'd be nice to have it as like an
an
intro.
exchanging of words.
What a
What a
beautiful
beautiful wedding. What a beautiful
wedding.
wedding. With the bridesmaids sing her home.
What a shame the poor bride is a whore.
I chimed in with haven't you people ever heard of?
What's up, guys? Tiger Boss Fitness. That's our little intro here. So I'm actually gonna put up my camera here because the right now we got a little camera quality issue on my end, and it's not too great. I accidentally clicked Spotify, but I guess that makes us a good intro. Okay, so now you're hearing from me. We just edited that out, so here's my camera version. So we're back to it. This is podcast number 1. Good vibes. I originally
Number 1, baby.
Originally, you guys see me as the beard, but I shaved it into a stash because fuck it, and we ball, and I think it looks pretty fire. And I also seen Top Gun recently. Highly recommend it. Ty's got a little facial hair grind.
I got a little goatee and mustache. It's really not nothing, but we're trying.
He can never grow facial hair back in the day, but now finally, I guess we're turning into men. I guess we're coming that age where, stuff happens. And I'm telling you what, like I was talking about this with my buddy at work, and like we're literally at that age where like we're about to be living, like we are living our adult life. Like this is life, man.
Yeah, dude. It's
like,
amazing.
Kids are going to be in the next 10 years, married, kids. Like we've got like priorities. So don't think that we're just like two goons in college that don't just don't give a shit, because we know that life is here. Like we're living, like this is like it's crazy how this is, but this is literally our lives are starting now. So we're in that.
Right. And one thing I wanted to definitely go into today was like how much our lives have changed and how much life changes in each year. So if you are just listening to the podcast and you're not watching the YouTube version, you don't know much about us. So I was thinking we'd just give yourself a little intro.
I said, I'm Justin Bossian with Tiger Bossian, and I'm from North Kingstown, Rhode Island, in the flesh. Huge Boston guy. Everything about me is Boston. I fucking love it. Tom Brady, the guy. He's the guy.
Celtics tonight.
The fucking Celtics, dude. The dude is coming back. Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, I currently attend ECU, where I'm no longer the dude that they used to call me at East Greenwich, as I used to throw on a little Boston accent to get the guys kind of riled up and stuff like that. But Tyghe always hated it. He said it made me look like an idiot, but clearly it does. But maybe I can save that for my second life where I'm a comedian. Yeah, so I go to ECU. Planning on doing my master's in nutrition, but right now the main focus is to bang out this bachelor's degree, which is in health fitness specialist, which basically, that's my personal trainer type deal. I'm trying to be a strength coach, but, it's wherever the roads may take me and stuff like that. Obviously, if I'm going to do a master's in nutrition, that opens up another door for being, a dietitian and all these different types of things. And, overall in the spectrum of health and fitness, there's, career-wise, there's a lot of, there's just endless amounts of opportunities. So that's what gets me excited. And then
I'm Tyghe Healy. I play Division I baseball at Merrimack. I'm a nutrition and communications major. And other than that, I like in my free time, I spend training other kids. I go surfing, anything outdoors. And then I just lift all the time. And it's just, I love it. And I just love the whole process of everything. And I'm sure you'll hear from Justin in a second. He's an absolute beast. But we met in sophomore, freshman year of high school.
Yeah, we met freshman year, but I always thought you were a dick bag in freshman year. And then towards the end of freshman year, when everyone was kind of like making their clicks and all that shit, I was just like, you know what? I mean, Tyghe seems like a cool guy. And then we started, that's kind of how I became, I got passionate about fitness through Tyghe, because we would just like work out and kind of like train for like, I don't know, he had this idea that I was going to be his catcher or whatever. And we used to play basketball because we thought we were going to do it. But eventually we just started to like work out, and I went to his house and we just had pool days after our workouts and just like kind of like messing around with the weights, just kind of like getting into it. And then kind of from there, developed a really, really close friendship.
Yeah, it took off.
It took off. And then, I moved to North Carolina to be with my mom, but the kid literally like a month after I got there, he gave me a visit. And, since then it's been a little hard because of the whole COVID and then finances, flights are expensive, but sure, I'm going to get
busy
at some point like that. We're busy. We've got our thing, but Tyghe Boss Fitness is kind of like really reconnecting that old, whole like bonding and, working out every day and kind of doing our thing. And honestly, it's a lot of,
man.
Yeah, I love you too, brother. Like literally, like a lot of people, they go from high school, then they go on to college, and then it's almost like they have best friends that they've been with for years, even since elementary school. And then, waves kind of part, and like, it was a perfect idea, and we both love it. We're both like, we're posting videos all the time. What we're trying to do is we're just trying to like show you what our passions are. And it's even better because it's making us closer every single going on the tail end of that, not to get emotional here, so we don't have to cut things out, respect all the people out there. But yeah, the kid, I mean, it's great, and it's getting us really tight again. And this guy, like, this isn't just like one of those like bimbo like friends that we got. We actually have a plan for this. Like, this guy's gonna be the best man at my wedding. I've had
appreciate that.
Tyghe's always been like my guy to go to for relationship advice, fitness advice, all these different types of things. Things that's, really important about, connections and stuff like that is to never burn bridges and never to forget about those people that were there, from day one. Tyghe was my day one. That was my guy that, I went to for everything. And little did I know that, like, in the freshman year, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. Like, and then all of a sudden we developed this passion for fitness, and, this is what I do every day. Fitness as a whole is part of our daily routine. Like, we got to eat as humans, but for us, we feel like we got to train. And like last week, I had some kind of crazy sickness where, I wasn't posting any videos on Tyghe Boss Fitness. I wasn't, taking pictures of chat stories and stuff like that. And that whole week, it sucked. It completely sucked because it was like something on my daily schedule completely got just thrown away in the toilet. And, I had nothing to do other than just obviously being sick sucks, but it's like, it's something that got taken away. And then, I was finally able to train again, and I was just like, oh my God, this feels so much.
Oh my God, dude, let me tell you, like, I don't think I've missed a day in the gym for like 50, 60 days straight. Yeah. And I was supposed to take an off day because I hurt my knee last week.
Sure.
It drove me nuts, and I couldn't do it.
Off days suck, but the one thing is
couldn't do it.
We got to appreciate, respect the fact that, obviously rest days are, very important.
Very important. Very important.
I mean, it's almost as important as training. And I'd probably say, throw rest days in the trash because that's based on like what your availability is.
Yeah.
Like that. The biggest thing is recovery. Recovery is as important as the training itself, if not more, because what we're doing is we're literally like, it's almost like we're taking a baseball bat and beating the shit out of our bodies every single day. Because, every time you work out, if you guys didn't know this, but every single time you do an exercise or something like that, and you get that pump, all that pump is blood flow that's rushing to the muscle fibers that you just broke. So you get microfiber tears, you get tears in these small, muscle fibers, and blood gets rushed there to repair. And that's what the pump is, right? You're getting that blood flow there to kind of fix the damage, almost like you're fixing a leak. Like, you hear this, preaching thing all the time that, why work at a job that you hate? It's like, I want to work at a job.
Huge.
I want to work at a job that I love. And, right now, like, I'm not really getting paid a lot or getting a lot of hours at the rec center over here. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's the experience. It's where I want to be. And, money, I'm stressing about money down the road. Right now, I just want to build up the experience, and it's where I like to be. I'd much rather make, less money doing what I love, because eventually you'll burn out. If you're not doing what you love, and that's not even in work. If you're not doing what you love in life, you're just going to get burned out from everything like that.
It's a waste of life too. It's a waste of life.
You should never be wasting your life. You should be doing, that's what we talk about, pro-felicity. Pro-felicity is basically, the tyghe knows more about this because he, showed me the term, but it's basically, my version, what I think of it and what I take from this is basically do whatever the fuck you want as long as it makes you happy and it doesn't hurt anybody. But at the same time, if somebody's like, hey, this is stupid, like, why are you doing this and stuff like that, like, you look like a clown, you do it anyway because you do what you want to do. If you want to be a freaking, like, I don't know, like an artist or something like that, or shit, if you want to be like a monster truck driver like I did when I was 5, but I don't really know how to do much on engines and shit like that. Maybe when I retire, knock on wood. Don't give a shit. Like, do what makes you happy. What makes me happy sometimes is just me chilling on my couch and just watching monster trucks. Like, it makes me happy. Do what you want to do. I like doing it.
And I think to add on to that, like you said, doing what you want when you want to do it. But when you do get that judgment from those quote unquote friends, maybe you had, going back to what you said earlier, going back and not forgetting about people. But you also have to be able to let go of those people sometimes. If it's a negative relationship, then it's no longer helping you. And this is huge, like, especially as we grow up. I mean, we're definitely not experts on life. We have our own problems and everything. But like in the past year or so, I definitely say that I've started to find like the people that I really want to move forward with. And it happens, like, the human beings, they're the best adaptive creatures, but they're also the creatures that let go the hardest. So it's like sometimes you gotta definitely know when to let go of people that are holding you back necessarily in your life.
Get rid of toxic bullshit in general. People, things that make you toxic. I mean, originally when I came to ECU, I used to love the whole, drinking and partying and stuff like that, but that doesn't make me happy, but makes a lot of people happy when they're like, hey, come out with us. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go out every now and then to spend time with the guys. But if it's like, it's not really something that I crave or something that I'm like, waiting all day to, like, wait until Friday to where I can go out, wait until or something like that. It's not something that I'm itching to do. So, I'm not going to do it. And if they have a problem with it, well, it's toxic, it's like the whole, that's why I never joined a fraternity, because for me, it's like, I don't want to be forced into doing things where, the whole pledging thing, doing things that I just don't want to do. Like, I get for some people that's, they like that stuff. But for me, I'm goal driven and I like to do what I want to do that makes me happy, because why not be happy? Why would you want to suffer just to make, a couple extra fake friends or something like that?
Right. Well, so we're not necessarily saying that frats are a bad thing, or that old friends are necessarily a bad thing. It's just knowing what is a positive influence on your life. So whatever goal you have, maybe your goal is to be connected in the business world. Maybe frat is a really good idea for that.
Right.
But maybe you got to stay focused instead of going out 4 out of the 7 times a week still. So it's about being determined and discipline in your life, but you also got to choose the people you surround yourself with. I think
there's a balance in everything in life. Nobody should be bogged down with everything like that. Like, I mean, we're not perfect. Like, sometimes we'll slip up and, we'll, have our fun and, and at the same time, it's, we're still, regardless of what happens or what we do or the things that we put in our bodies, it's like we're so adapted to wake up the next day and still get after it no matter what. I mean, even if I sleep really bad, I like to go to the gym. It's honestly, somewhere where it just makes me happy.
I'll actually open it up. I got a question for you.
Sure.
So, what do you think? Well, when you started lifting consistently, what really got you into that? So getting over that, like, first 21 days day hump to, like, make it a consistent thing. Well, another one of our friends is struggling, and it's just, what do you think really got you into that and got you going consistently? Because I'll share my after.
That's a fantastic question. So there was a lot of periodic, whether or not it's 20-day. There was a lot of humps in the road to where I was like, I mean, that's what everything like that. It took me like from the time that we were training in sophomore year, it took me years to really, really get, down to, making it a habit and stuff like that. But honestly, I kind of just, so me and, my stepdad, we had a little, in our garage, we had like a weight set from the old house and we had a bench. And every now and then I would just go in and do my workouts and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I really feel like, I really like this. I like, lifting the weights and setting new PRs and stuff. And those, I think, because whenever I started to make goals for myself and I met them, whether or not it's, getting a new PR on squat or, getting a couple inches on your bicep or something like that, I think it was the goals and meeting them and exceeding them. And the progress that I saw is what really, really kind of got me over the hump and got me addicted to it. And when I fell in love with it was the whole, progress in, and that's why when I train, I track the weights, I track the sets, I track the reps. Even now, I still update it in my notes and everything like that. And I'm always, always improving, even if it's by one set or, an extra 5 pounds. And that's what makes me love it. And like, for an example, like, my girlfriend's having the same issue right now to where, she's, the last 2 weeks of the semester, we went to the gym almost every day, unless she had to study for finals. Because obviously, you got to get your priorities in, and that's the balance thing that we talked about. But it's kind of like she went back to Charlotte and stuff, and we got back to or got into a new summer routine, that kind of, because I wasn't there, she's not a gym member and stuff like that. There's a lot of different, variables into getting her, back into consistency. And a lot of people rely on, someone to keep them accountable. And that's fantastic. That's what, what I look forward to as a coach, for, clients and stuff like that, is the accountability thing, because that's what people do need. Now, she's one of those people where, if she really, really wants it, she'll stay committed to it and she'll do it. So I'm almost certain that as soon as she gets back here and consistently every single day, when she sees the tyghe and she has a gym to go to, she'll be consistent with that. So for her, for an example, contrary to my experience, she's one of those people where she needs like the accountability for the gym. And right now it's hard, but she's still getting active, at work and stuff like that, an active job. People do need that accountability. But for me, at least, it was just, and maybe this will work for her or other people that may be watching, is just doing it for self-improvement, whether or not, everyone wants to say like, oh, I want to get thinner, or I want to get, a bigger ass or something like that, or I want big arms, or I want a big chest and stuff like that. Those are long-term goals. If we're just starting out, set something that is going to be, attainable. It's SMART goals that we learned in our kinesiology class, specific, measurable, attainable, probably like reachable, and then, I don't know, time efficient or something like that. Basically it's like small little goals. And if you meet those goals every workout, you're going to improve and you're going to get addicted to it. If you have, and I'll let you get to your reason is, if you throw on like 135 on bench, and if that's your PR, all you have to do the next week is throw those little baby 2.5 pound plates on each side, and you get 140. That's a PR. You don't have to like instantly like crank out after you hit it at 135. Let's go to 145. Let's go to 155. Go to 5 pounds more. It's 2.5 pounds. That's like a gallon of milk jug. Like whatever your PR was, just pretend like a gallon of water or a gallon jug is at the top of it. I mean, that's even more than 5 pounds. That's like 8 pounds or some shit. Just pretend like you're pushing like those little 5 pound dumbbells. That's all you're adding to your bench. So those little small goals, that's what I got addicted to. So I went from fucking like, I don't know, like 135 on deadlift or whatever the hell I started out with, to like, it took years for me, but I got 550. If you told me back when I was first started out that by 19 I would be lifting well over 500 pounds, which is like, I don't know, which is a quarter of a ton, like that's a quarter of a fucking ton. Like that's like, there's half ton trucks.
That's a lot.
That's half of that truck, like a half ton. You take half of that shit, you're picking it up off the ground. That's like that. I fucking love that shit. And that's
that's dope.
that's why I love it. That's why I love it. So that's on. Go ahead with yours because that's why I fucking love it. I love it.
So mine is completely different than yours. So basically, I mean, I lifted like with Justin for like it was like 2 months. I lifted with my other buddy like senior year for a couple months, and I just like I never really fell in love with the process of lifting, and I was more just involved in my sport. And I was like, I don't need lifting to be good at my sport. I'm already good. But little did I know, Rhode Island baseball is definitely not as competitive as the world, right? So I came in my freshman year, and I was one of the worst players on the team. Like completely, I could barely squat 135. I could barely do all this extra stuff in the weight room, and not to mention COVID's going on the entire time. So my social life is completely screwed up, and I had a girlfriend back at home. So I couldn't go out or like do any of this stuff necessarily. And I just was like, what am I going to do with my life? Because I wasn't really making friends either. And I just was like, all right, I don't want to be the worst player anymore. I want to get better. So I started going to the gym. I started getting consistent with it. And then a bunch of crap happened, mental health and stuff like that over the summer, where I ended up splitting from my girlfriend. And then and that really, right after that, it really accelerated my gym process. Like, I don't know if guys out there can kind of relate to it, but as soon as you get out of a relationship, it's like you got that fire now. That's your gym motivation. But you also need to have that gym motivation without all the fire, because you still got to wake up every morning. You still got to go to the gym if you don't want to go to the gym. You still got to go do that 2 miles if you don't want to do this 2 miles. Like, so I really just found that this year. And I'd probably say I've only been lifting consistently throughout like the last 9-10 months. So it's just been like, from there though, once I started hopping on programs for the first time and making programs and changing my diet up a little bit, it's been like a skyrocket for me.
Absolutely. So, yeah. I mean, it's like, for me, like, I will say that when I'm upset, my workouts are a lot better because I'm really like fucking pissed off, and you
got that rage. It's just you're so fired up
and stuff like that. But on good days, that's the one thing. You don't always have that. You don't always have that fire in your ass. But that's almost like the days where you feel the best are going to be the days that you're really testing your limits. Like if you feel fucking great, you even if you're tired or something like that, but you feel good mentally and stuff like that. And, you go to the gym and you're like, you're not trying hard enough or some shit like that, obviously everyone has their time and they have to eventually get to that level. But for me, I've had shit happen with girls in the past and stuff like that, but I'm really comfortable with, my girlfriend now and my life is great. But at the same time, it's like, for me, like I love fitness so much that, I can still just go there and just like, pretend like,
it's honestly, it's like a stress reliever.
Yeah. Sometimes I just
stress reliever.
I just pretend, like make scenarios in my head and I just fucking go at it. And when you're into the gym for so long and stuff like that, and you're like, sometimes you're not as motivated or something like that. Just think about like, sometimes like, I'm just like, I love to go to the gym and shit like that, but this workout kind of sucks. Let me like motivate myself somehow. And even me, like, I love the gym so much, but I'll still look at YouTube and look at like, David Goggins motivation or something.
Always learning. Yeah.
Always learning, just like obviously for me, it's great to be a future coach and shit like that. But even me, I got to have somebody to fire in my ass. Like I'll listen to David Goggins, like, don't be a pussy. Just like,
I can't stand that guy. I
see, it's to each their own. It gets me fired up, but then, days that I can consistently do it, because obviously there's, a lot of it's like, the same shit. Like, don't be a pussy, man up, stay hard.
Stay hard.
Stay hard. Stay hard. But for me, like, you know, it
I can't stand it.
It could be a fucking movie. Like, I'll listen to, like, you know, even on days that I feel like shit, I'll listen to Eye of the Tiger once. I'll look at like Rocky in round 14 where he's got his eyes all cut and he's like his trainer's telling him to stay down. So he loses the fight. Rocky gets the fuck up and he fucking breaks Apollo Creed's ribs. Like shit like that. It gets me going.
You want to know what's funny?
Use little shit to get you fired up. It doesn't matter. Look at fucking.
You know what's funny? I work out sometimes, like the days I'm not feeling motivated. I'll put on YouTube and I'll put on just a random motivational podcast while I'm lifting, and like I get fuel. I don't know what it does to me, it's just like
it's another voice in your ear to get the.
I'm like, let's go.
Yeah,
exactly. But honestly, I recommend to everybody. Start your morning off with a motivational podcast. Start your day off with something like that, and your day is going to be that much better because you're going to wake up ready. You're going to wake up hungry. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, it changed my way of thinking. So we're gonna wrap up here, but thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. I hope you took out some really valuable knowledge from this podcast, and we're super stoked. Stoked to be here, stoked to be doing this. We've been talking about this for months and months, and today's finally the day.
It's the first podcast, baby.
Yes, sir. Completed.
Fucking shredded, buddy. I'm no longer shredded. I gotta get
stay strong, baby.
Gotta stay strong, boys. I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna go indulge in some fucking pasta and cheese. And some cheesy poofs.
You Italian
fucking guy with the fucking Jesus piece of it. What are you doing?
All right.
Yeah, that's
what thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. See you later in the next video, boys.